Hi everyone, thank you for your time today. My name is Kenichi Sano, and I'm the President and CEO of Vision Inc. Today, I'd like to make a briefing on our financial results for the third quarter ending December 31st, 2020. I will now switch to the interpreter's voice to explain our financial results.
These are the financial results for the third quarter of the fiscal year 2020. Sales have changed from 20.547 billion yen to 13,108 billion yen. Regarding the operating profit, from a surplus of 2.97 billion yen in the previous year, this year it was reduced to minus 15 million yen in the interim period, but this time it turned into a surplus. Of course, the bulk impairment of depreciation costs also overlapped. I will come back to this later, but it all resulted in a surplus of 58 million yen. Recurring profit changed from 3.011 billion yen in the previous year to the current 167 million yen. The interim period was profitable as well, but the amount of the surplus has increased even further in the third quarter. Net income attributable to owners of the parent company in the third quarter from a previous year's 1.986 billion yen, including the earlier mentioned Wi-Fi impairment, has resulted in minus 1.226 billion yen, which is also a big reduction. Now moving on to the performance trend in the global Wi-Fi business. Sales in the previous year were 17.732 billion yen, and in the current third quarter, they changed to 5.906 billion yen. This is a difficult situation and a decline of 55.5% year-on-year basis. As for segment profit, it has reduced to minus 48 million yen in comparison to previous year's 3.301 billion yen. While our global Wi-Fi business does have some fixed costs of maintaining airport counters and staff, our domestic Wi-Fi business is expanding steadily and has remarkably reduced the deficit. We have been responding to various needs in the domestic Wi-Fi rental business since 2010, but now we can gradually see the results and payoff from spurring and expanding the efforts in this sphere. Next is the performance trend of information and communications service business. Here, we are focused on providing services centered on cost reduction, but sales are also proceeding steadily in areas related to remote work. Against 8.995 billion yen in 2019, the sales in the third quarter of 2020 have reached 6.666 billion yen. The sales have dropped slightly in comparison to last year, as lump sum income has been reduced due to us being focused on strengthening the subscription-based service which generates fixed income. However, while the segment profit was 1.363 billion yen in 2019, it is already 1.184 billion yen in the third quarter of 2020 and is showing growth compared to the previous year's third quarter. This indicates that the stock earnings or periodical subscription revenue have gradually accumulated, and we consider this a very positive trend. Next, we would like to revise the financial forecast for a full business year. It is an upward revision. As for operating profit in the mid-year report, we forecasted a 320 million yen loss for the year. However, we would like to make an upward revision to the fact that operating profit itself will turn positive due to the surplus of 58 million yen. Likewise, recurring profit has been revised from minus 213 million yen to plus 167 million yen. The profit attributable to owners of the parent company had been announced as minus 1.601 billion yen, but this has also been shrunk significantly to minus 1.226 billion yen. We did announce the full year operating profit as 58 million yen, which is the same as the third quarter's operating profit of 58 million yen, but it was done primarily due to the concern for the second wave of COVID-19. We would like you to see that the upward revision to 58 million yen and the decision to keep it unchanged is based upon us tackling the budget firmly and not just keeping it and staying still. Next is our policy on growth strategy. As for the current situation of the global Wi-Fi business, the monthly loss has improved to approximately 10 million yen. Our information and communications service business is catching up by addressing the various customer needs emerging under the COVID-19 environment. From now on, firstly for the global Wi-Fi business, we will focus on achieving a surplus on a monthly basis. As for the next year, as I have mentioned earlier, we are envisioning various plans, including investments, and one of the first ones is 5G. The 5G technology is still lagging in many countries, but the available areas are gradually expanding and we will react and prepare accordingly. In addition to that, of course, eSIM. We have been working on this for some time, and to be able to eventually realize it, we are going to continue efforts on the technical level and also negotiations with carriers around the world. Also, for information and communication services, we will continue to develop more SaaS models according to demand. The currently existing SaaS services are being widely used, and we will continue to promote them. As for new businesses, there are still many ways to further explore customer assets, so we would likely to firmly catch up with our customers' needs and continue to create services that are indispensable to them. Carrying out low-cost operations steadily while laying down the foundation for generating high profit is key for our successful business, and we will work together as a team to make this happen. Next, about our new service, which is called tsuyakufukikae.com or interpretationanddubbing.com. Although we are happy to hear that some customers started going abroad little by little, most customers can't travel at this period due to COVID-19. Of course, just because you can't travel doesn't mean the business stops. And in fact, I believe most of you have experienced it as well. Online business meetings and webinar events have increased significantly during this time. The problem here is that the contents or language used at these meetings tends to be Japanese dominated. The situation is the same in IR meetings, during which we usually use Japanese and then communicate through interpreters. We have started the interpretation and dubbing service so that such meetings can occur even more smoothly online and offer such services as dubbing videos like this IR video so that overseas investors can watch them. The same way we all watch dubbed movies and can understand more about one's company and learn all the important information directly by hearing one explain them. As we have a lot of customers who travel abroad, and being a listed company, we can see that an increasing number of Japanese listed companies are willing to make stronger efforts in overseas IR activities. To support such customers behind the scenes, we are actively expanding into the interpretation and dubbing business. Now, on to changes in monthly cost and segment profit of our global Wi-Fi business. As I have already touched upon, depreciation costs decreased significantly due to the impairment loss of fixed assets by approximately 1.2 billion yen. Accordingly, the monthly costs were also considerably reduced. In addition, by reducing overseas operation costs, what was at its peak a minus 182 million yen in a single month, now is firmly reduced from 0 to 10 to 20 million yen. Next is the gross profit composition. The profit composition itself and information and communication service are undergoing major changes. Up to now, copiers and other term-type leasing-related businesses had a major impact, but under COVID-19, teleworking-related products have been in higher demand, and in a situation like this, an increasing number of startups are emerging. Startups will increase not because of many layoffs, but because many believe it is a good time to follow their passions, and that COVID-19 environment provides new opportunities for new businesses to emerge. Such startups tend not to make large investments, but rather start small. Our Vision Crafts is a website production service that has a monthly subscription cost of only 4,980 yen, and due to that is a great fit for such smaller companies and is steadily growing. The profit composition is changing right now from equipment to service and on to SaaS. Thank you for staying with us today. The tough situation under COVID-19 is still ongoing. Although our company has currently lost its global Wi-Fi business, one of our core businesses, we have challenged ourselves to try and make up for it by starting new businesses, and these efforts have paid off, so we could post enough profits to make the upward revisions as explained today. We are, of course, not satisfied yet, and we need to build on the foundation for further growth so that we can implement it as an add-on when our overseas operations go back to the pre-pandemic state. Our employees will make serious efforts and do their best for our shareholders, and we sincerely appreciate your continued support. Thank you very much again for listening.